Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Mi Gente on Air. I am your host, Larry Rodarte. I was off last week just because I was recuperating from Cinco de Mayo, and I thought I'd catch up this week and talk with our parade grand marshal. So please come into the room, join me as we start another edition of Mi Gente on Air as we talk about things that are happening in our community, from the Memorial Cup to the past Cinco de Mayo to what's coming up in with graduations. There's so much going. It's a great time in our community as the weather warms up and we're getting out more. And I'm out on the food truck every week, and that's a lot of fun. And I want to talk a little bit about that as well. So please join me in the room tonight if you got any questions or concerns. Not only can you leave a comment in the chat room, but you can also call in. We're going to try this call in feature that Art Lewis has on his show. We're going to try it on my show, Mi Gente on Air, and you can call 989-752-6111 if you've got a question or you want to talk about a topic that we're talking about, or even bring up a new topic. I'm willing to take your calls. Just be polite and be nice. So we're going to come into the show now with my producer, Matthew Lester, is in the house, and we're going to do another edition of Mi Gente on Air.
Welcome to Mi Gente on Air on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Now, here is your host, Larry Rodarte.
Cierra esa boquita, calladita se ve más bonita.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Mi Gente on Air. Thank you for being with me tonight. I am your host, Larry Rodarte, and I'm trying a few things differently this evening here, this May 14th, 2024. As we come out of the Cinco de Mayo weekend, I'm still recuperating. That's why I wasn't on the show last week. But there's a lot happening in our community. We've got the Memorial Cup coming up. We've got graduations coming up. We could talk about the annual Cinco de Mayo that just took place last week. And I've got a real special guest because they are people within our community who have given quite a bit back. And we're going to have Mary Hernandez Silvas, actually. And she was the Grand Parade Marshal, the Grand Marshal for the 45th Annual Cinco de Mayo Parade with her husband, Lupe Silvas. And they have given quite a bit back to our community. And what I'm talking about is specifically with the Unión Cívica Mexicana. Lupe has done the grounds for many, many years. We even bought a lawnmower for Lupe a few years back, maybe 2-3 years. We did a fundraiser and we called it Lupe's Lawnmower. And so we were able to buy him one of those really nice lawnmowers that was able to do the landscape for the Union Civica yard. And Mary, she's given back many, many years. She's been the secretary of the Union Civica for several years, and she's just always been that nice member that always keeps me in check and says, Larry, behave, or Larry, be nice. But please help me welcome today Miss Mary Hernandez Silvas.
Hello.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
How you feeling these days after being the parade grand marshal for the 45th annual Cinco de Mayo parade?
Still feeling great about it.
Yeah. Were you surprised when we announced that you were the grand marshal, you and Lupe?
Oh, yes. Were we ever surprised?
Well, it's really something, because the post that we did, we actually went live with that announcement that Mary and Lupe were the grand marshal for this year's parade, and already it's got like close to 5,000 views on Facebook. So you've gotten a lot of attention in these last couple of weeks.
Oh, yes, we have. We have total strangers come say congratulations.
Do they really?
Yes, it's really nice.
Well, Mary and Lupe both have been members of the Unión Cívica for many years. Mary, tell us a little bit about your experience and your history with the Civica.
Oh, my history, I was a queen. My mom kind of talked me into joining the group.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in 1966 that I was queen.
1966.
65, 66.
Wow.
And from there, I've you invited me to join the Civica, and we joined after we came back from Texas. We moved back home, and we've been very active.
Yeah, you have. You really have. And
Mhm.
Matthew, my producer, I would like you to put on the picture of her when she was queen in 1965, 1966. If you can see it on the screen there. Look at that large hooped dress. I don't even know. Do you know what hall that was at, Mary?
At Saginaw Auditorium.
That's the Saginaw Auditorium, because the Union Civica Hall that we know today was quite small, as it was
Mhm.
built in 1960, but it was half of what it is today. And so they were utilizing the Saginaw Auditorium for many years back in the 40s as well. Mary, what does it mean to you to be a member of the Union Civica Mexicana?
Oh, we loved it. It's given me the opportunity to work with so many great people over the years, and it resulted in so many long-lasting friendships in this community.
Yeah.
And doing the Grand Marshal, gosh, and joining the Civica, we just felt that this has been a way for us to give back a little to the community for the last 12 years that we've been members.
Has it really been 12 years?
Yes, and when I came back, 2012.
Wow. Time just
Okay.
flies. Time flies. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Mary, the thing is that when you're a member of the Civica, especially the Civica All Stars, that comes with a responsibility, and it is work. It's not like a just a party all the time. It's actually work that has to be done. Can you tell me about that experience?
Yes, it is work, but we work together, united, and we have fun doing it. We just stick together and work it through.
Yeah, whatever come
Mhm.
what may. And sometimes we've been in some tough situations, but I think one of the highlights of it all is the fact that we are able to pull off a big annual Cinco de Mayo the way we have, and for the last 15 years, to the 12 years since you have joined, it's been pretty active. I mean, you have been pretty active, you and Lupi, in your contribution.
Mhm.
And I just want to, mention that Maria Vela was the president before I came into the picture, and she is the older sister of Lupe Silvas. So Lupe
Mhm.
was probably quite involved as well under the leadership of his sister, as well as his other sister, Tonya, may they rest in peace. But also Angelito Gonzalez, Lola Aguilar, these women really kept up the Union Civica so that it wouldn't falter and that it was continuing on, where next year the community will celebrate 80 years that it's been in existence since 1945. So what an
Mhm.
incredible feat that is for our community. But when we talked about the parade grand marshal, when the organizers were talking about, well, who do we select this year? Because we always try to select somebody who has given back to the community in a big way, who is a reputable individual, who doesn't have really any blemishes on their record, if you will. And it was an easily choiced selection of you and Loopy, because you have given us so much. And like I said, I remember one year you guys, even when I took off on vacation, handled the hall rentals through the summer, and that was a challenge.
Oh, yes. By ourselves. Mhm.
But you've done an outstanding job. And Mary, did you ever think that way back in 1965, when you were chosen as queen and your mother asked you to get involved, that the Civica would play such a big part in your life?
No, I never did. I never did. I couldn't imagine, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And what does
Mhm.
your family have to say? Do they say,
Oh,
like,
they're pretty proud that we were parade marshal. Mhm.
Mary, we can barely hear you, so you're gonna have to speak up into the phone?
Okay, let me turn it up. Okay, yes, my family's pretty proud. They all congratulated us
Yeah.
on both sides, his family and mine.
Wow. Well, I
Hmm.
noticed that a lot of the comments, there were a lot of comments on that post that we made, and everybody said it was a wonderful choice. And like I said, it received 5K views. That's a lot of views for a local post in a community, and I'm really happy that you guys have received the attention that you have because I honestly felt that you deserved it as well as the board. And we all thought that it was very deserving of you to be in the parade. So tell me a little bit about, and I want you to speak up. Tell me a little bit about the actual parade and what you experienced coming down Michigan Avenue.
Well, I have never seen so many people. I never thought the parade was that big. From beginning to end, there was people everywhere, just waving, collecting candy, and it was great weather. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, I was really surprised that morning because I thought it was going to be a drizzly day, and I just thought, boy,
Hmm.
I wonder how this parade's going to turn out because every year we seem to battle Mother Nature. Last year was beautiful and like 65 degrees with pure sun. This year was just as warm, but the sun came in and out, and when it did come out, it was pretty warm, pretty hot actually.
Hmm.
But you know what was amazing to me was just how jovial the crowd was. They were just so
Hmm.
excited as every parade entrant came down Michigan Avenue, and it seemed like the parade really stuck together this year. There wasn't any big gaps, and it was just exciting to see how everybody, all walks, were really involved with the parade. Now, on Michigan Avenue, it was a little different than say on Washington last year. This year, it seemed like everybody wanted to be a part of the parade, and they were coming off the sidewalks and they were trying to collect the candy, the kids, which can be very dangerous. So we got to watch that. But even the adults were, lined up and they were like very close to you, wouldn't you say?
Yes, there was a lot of people.
Yeah, there really
Mhm.
was this year, and I was really surprised at how, like I said, jovial, joyful people were just smiling and waving, and the politicians were
Mhm.
waving, and the church groups were
Mhm.
waving. Mary Garcia, she always does a great job with her church group in singing. The walls are tumbling down. She gets the crowd hyped, and I think that section of the parade was um, very joyful, like I said, because everybody was shouting how great Saginaw actually was, and
Mhm.
that's a real positive for our community because sometimes we always get the hits, and as we're gearing up for this Memorial Cup coming, I think that there's a lot of positivity in the community that is, really at the forefront as we approach May 24th with the kickoff of the Memorial Cup. So I think the precursor of that was this parade, which had the theme of United We Soar. United We Soar. And that is the theme also of the Memorial Cup. And we chose that theme, the same theme, giving homage to the idea that the Memorial Cup was going to be here in Saginaw later in the month. So United We Soar. And that's what we did on what was it? May 4th. Yes, May 4th. So, Mary, what else can you tell us about, being the Grand Marshal?
Well, if you don't mind, I would just like to take a second. I would like to thank the Unión Cívica Mexicana and the members of the Civica All Stars, for the honor that my husband Lupe and I for being selected as parade marshal. And this was something I could never have imagined. Back in 1965, when I rode in the Unión Cívica parade for the first time, when I was queen with my queen fort, I could have never imagined that I would be the parade marshal.
Yeah, and
So
you've seen many through the years, right?
yes, yes. And I also did want to thank a few people like well, who played a very important role in making the parade a success for not just this year, but for so many years. Now, first of all, would be Larry Rodarte, you're a go-getter of the group, and Angela Blanco and Valerie Blanco, they've always had, like, they've been the backbone of the group, and also the ones who have helped make and sell food. Jesse and Angelica Vasquez, Angelino, Berta and Lucy, Estelle, and she took over the parade this year. And also Teresa Castillo, and she's invited me year after year to help with the queen. You know, every year we select the queen and so many more I can't mention, but we all work as a team. So I really thank you from Lupe and I. It was
Oh,
an honor.
that's very sweet. That's very sweet of you. And yes, I want to give acknowledgement to Cassell Vasquez Cameron. She took over the parade this year, which isn't an easy feat, especially when you've got 100 entrants and you've never done it before. And we have a new parade route, and so it was quite a task. And I think she did a really good
Mm-hmm.
job because, as
We
I
did.
alluded to earlier, the parade actually was tight. There was no big gaps, and that really made the parade go by faster. Typically,
Mhm.
sometimes it takes 2 hours, and I think this year it was like an hour, and it was done, which was really nice because everybody, like I said, it moved, and people were just hyped, and it just seemed to be really well organized. And I'm sure if you talk to Cassell or anybody that was over there prepping, the parade lineup, it probably was very chaotic. And I know that, in fact, I know it was because I got some of the feedback from those that were organizing it. But you sure couldn't tell when you were on the parade route, because once they got over that Court Street Bridge, everything fell into place and it went very
Right?
smoothly. Yes. And so you were
People
like
were
at the
ready.
the forefront. You were at the forefront leading the parade with the veterans, the veteranos. And what was the comments made by your beloved Lupe?
Oh, what did he say? Peace. That's what he said.
He said what?
Peace.
Peace. Yeah. What did you experience from his standpoint, from what you saw of Lupe?
Oh, he was like a little boy throwing candy, waving at people. It was a lot of fun.
Oh,
So,
that's really nice. Well,
mm,
Angela Blanco is on here like she is most weeks, and she says, "Hi, Mary and Lupe. Congratulations again for so deserving of being Grand Marshals for our 45th annual Cinco de Mayo. We love you
thank
both
you.
so much, and we thank you so much for the loving the Civica and all of us Civica members like you do. We appreciate you
Thank you.
both
Thank
so
you.
much, El Rey and La Reina. God bless you both."
Aw,
El Rey. I like that. Talking about
yeah.
Lupe. Well, it's always a task when we try to select an individual, whether it's for the Saginaw Hispanic Hall of Fame or the Adelante Awards that we used to put on, or whether it's the Parade Grand Marshal. But it always seems to come together for what's happening in the moment. Now, we do look at individuals and what their past performance may have been, their contributions, but it's always seems to be what's happening at the given moment of the day. And when we
Hmm.
selected you guys, we couldn't think of anybody better in the community that was more deserving of that honor. And we're talking about the honor of being the Grand Marshal when we have had the mayors of the Saginaw as Grand Marshal. We've even had Tejano superstars that have come into our community for Cinco de Mayo. We've given them the honor. We've had people like Ernie Garza, the Saginaw boxer, and we've had Juan Garcia last year, who was a boxing coach for many, many years. We've had Vanessa Guerra with her political input, that contribution that she has done. So, I mean, you have been really added to a list of, real heavy hitters in our community. And we are so glad that you were able to do it and that you were willing to also get your own vehicle.
Yes. Yes.
Mary said to me, she says, "Are you getting a vehicle for us or did you want us to?" And I said, "Absolutely, you guys get it," because I had so much on my plate in regards to the organizing of the Cinco de Mayo. And she's got some good contacts with some of the auto dealers. And they were, what kind of car was that they provided? It was a convertible, right?
Yes, it was a convertible. I think it was a Mustang.
A
The
Mustang
car was,
convertible.
what kind of car was it? A Mustang?
Yeah.
A Mustang. It was an older one.
It
Um,
sounds like Lupe is right there with you in the room.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, Matthew, if
Mhm.
you could show them some of those other pictures that we had, I wanted the live stream to show Mary through the years. There's Mary and Loopy around uh, in the mid 1990s. Him with his hat, and this is a time when they got married, probably about 30 years ago now. There's their wedding picture, and I don't know who. I think that's the pastor that married them.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's
there's
right.
Mary when she was the recipient of the Frida Award about 5 6 years ago. That was put on by Mi Gente magazine and Comerica Bank in Detroit. And there's Mary just around the time that she was the queen of the Civica. She's a little older there, but she definitely has the bouffant hair that was indicative and stylish during that time. But anyways, so congratulations again to Mary and to Lupe Silvas. We are so proud of them as members of this community. And if you knew Mary, you know, through through her working years, she worked at banks. She was at Chase Bank, I believe, for a while. Mary, you had an illustrious career actually within the banking world. How many years did you work, and when
Mm-hmm.
did you retire?
Oh, I worked about 23 years in the banking. And then I retired. We moved to Texas, and lo and behold, I went back to work at a bank. They put me as supervisor as soon as I came in.
At a bank in Texas?
Yes, mm-hmm.
Wow.
But that's how I left. I was supervisor.
Yeah, and I remember Mary was they were living in Texas at the time, and they would come back, and whenever they were in Saginaw, they would always come to the Civica events that we were putting on. And I remember a conversation you and I had prior to 2012, and I said, you know, you should just move back to Saginaw and be a part of the Civica. Do you remember that?
I remember.
Yeah, and you listened to me. That was the strange thing about it, but look at how well it played out, and it really, you guys.
Actually, I
What's that?
came back for my kids, my grandkids.
I
I
know.
missed them too much, and we came back.
Yeah,
But every time I saw you, you'd say, "You're a former queen. You should be over here making patitos."
I said that.
Yes.
Yeah, I say that to Teresa too. I say, you know, as a former queen, you need to step your game up. Can you imagine if I said that to all the queens? I saw one
Mhm.
today. I saw Bernada um, Jimenez. I saw her today, and I said, "How you doing, Reina?" Because we always there's a saying going on at the Civica that once a queen, always a queen. And so I said, "How you doing, Reina?" And she has a daughter named Reina and Rita. And she thought I
Oh,
was saying Rita,
wow.
and I said, "No, I'm saying Reina. I'm referring to you." And she goes, "Oh, good. I'm doing good." So it's really something that whenever we do see the past queens over the last 80 years, and we do have one that's still living, and she's was queen in 1947. We still
Mm.
refer to them as Reina.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, I hope that you guys continue on with us for the Civica. I know that Lupe is back out there trying to keep the grounds nice as we speak this week, and he's done a wonderful job, even in the midst of having the lawnmower damaged, and they were able to fix it. Him and Roberto Flores. So, you know, we really want to thank those who have been of that old school guard that continually helps the Civica when called upon. And we need more of that, I think, with our younger generation to be involved and to be good
All right.
stewards of the community. So thank you to Mary and Lupe Silvas again. And Mary, any last words?
No, but you're very welcome. And thank you very much again for selecting us.
All
We
right.
felt honored.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. And Tomas Salazar, he's from Pontiac. He's in the group tonight, and he also says congratulations on being Grand Marshal, Mary and Lupe. And he says, what a great day overall. Thanks for
Yeah.
honoring us. So there you go.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. You know, on Mi Gente on Air, it's what this show is about. You know, it's about telling our Latino stories, our culture, and you know, as well as our contributions. And this is really, you know, this first half of the show is really showcasing the contribution of Mary and Lupe Silvas, what they have given to the community, not only to the Civica, but the community at large. So, again, thank you so much, and we will see you tomorrow at the Civica, ready to make food and to cut the grass. Right, Lupe?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Thank you for being with us, and
All right.
we'll see you again soon. And congratulations again on your great honor of
Thank
being
you.
the parade grand marshals of the 45th
Bye,
annual
everybody.
Cinco de Mayo. Bye bye. And we'll be right back with Mi Gente on Air.
This is Mi Gente on Air on WSGW.
So there you have it, Mary and Lupe Silvas, who are some of the all-stars of the Unión Cívica Mexicana, who are the Grand Marshals. And I want to take this time to open up the lines, if you will. If anybody wants to talk with me here on the show live, the number is 989-752-6111. And I would love to take some questions that you may have, whether it's on current topics, whether it's what's happening in the community at large with the Memorial Cup, or whether it is on the Cinco de Mayo, whatever. We'll talk. And I'm going to try to inform on the show tonight about issues that are coming up with these different events in the community. So let's go back into the show, Matthew, and let's talk and see if anybody's daring enough to call in.
You're listening to Mi Gente on Air on WSGW.
Good evening. Welcome back. Welcome back to Mi Gente on Air, where we talk about the contributions of Latinos in our community. We talk about our culture. And of course, we talk about our concerns. And so we're here today in the mid-May already. Tomorrow's May 15th. And this coming next week, if you will, a week from Wednesday, tomorrow, I believe the Memorial Cup starts. It will be May the 24th. And it's big news for our whole community because there's going to be a lot happening in the 9-10 days that the Memorial Cup will be playing at the Dow Events Center. And so I just, want to see what everybody is feeling in regard to that. I think it's a great plus for our community, for our city. This is the first time, I believe, that it's in the state of Michigan, the Memorial Cup, and there's going to be a lot of Canadians coming over to our area. And I know that there's been work that has been done on some of the roads, as well as some of the beautiful murals that have been painted, and the city's just getting ready for this big extravaganza. And I went to a hockey game probably during the playoffs. I don't know. It was, I think, the fourth game or so. And, I hadn't been to the arena in a while, but I remember thinking to myself, I was up in the new suites that they have, the renovations that were done. And I remember, looking down on the hockey floor, and it's like you're right there. It's beautiful. It really is. And I thought, wow, this is really great for Saginaw, that we have sports entertainment available to our community at that level. So, hats off to my friend Dick Garber for bringing that, and Craig Goslin, to the Saginaw community 20 years ago. I remember when that press conference came about, and the signing of the Saginaw Spirits. And here we are 20 years later, and it's going stronger than ever, because we have this Memorial Cup coming to our community. And to be able to pull that off, I think speaks volumes of those in the leadership position of the Saginaw Spirits, to bring that to our city. So what is everybody's thoughts these days? I know that I will be participating, with the Memorial Cup in the capacity of having my food truck at the alley, food court alley, if you will. It's going to be right behind food truck alley. I mean, it's going to be right behind the Jolt Credit Union event park. And if anybody was there during Cinco de Mayo, it's actually over the hill in the parking area. And they're going to set up the food trucks there on a daily basis during the 9-day run of the Memorial Cup. I think there's 2 days where they're going to be closed, but the most of the times it's going to be from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. On some days, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And the trucks will not be staying there overnight. We have to move them and then we bring them back in the morning for the next day. But there's going to be a whole lineup of entertainment. Matthew, are you privy to any of that information in the newsroom? Because I know that there's going to be quite a number of acts coming to our city, right?
Yeah. When it comes to who's actually going to be performing, I'm not entirely sure. I work all the I during the regular season, I worked all the regular Saginaw Spirit games, home games, I should say. And then during the actual Memorial Cup, I'm going to be working all like the games. I'm going to be airing them over the radio. So yeah, I'm going to be involved. But when it comes to the actual like entertainment and who's going to be there, I personally have no clue.
I know that there's posts out there with a different lineup that's out there. Now on the 20th, is it the 23rd? The Memorial Cup will actually arrive here in the city of Saginaw?
I believe, yeah, the parade is that Thursday, the 23rd.
Yeah, so we got another parade coming up, and it's going to be a big to do with jets flying over, and they're going to have, like we said, a parade, and it's the arrival of the actual Memorial Cup to our area. So it's going to be pretty exciting. And one of the things as I'm sitting here talking and thinking about Mi Gente on Air, typically we don't see too many Latinos involved with hockey. And I know that my good friend Jimmy Green is involved quite a bit in recruitment and all. And I think that he did a wonderful job when we had our Christmas with Angels festivities back in December. And Jimmy and the Saginaw Spirits gave tickets to those children and their parents and the families that were participating with Christmas with Angels so that they could attend a hockey game. And for some of them, it was the very first time in their lives that they actually did. And I think that really went far because you never know the interests from children, how that will play out in their lives when they see something at that scale. And I think that it's a plus. It's a real plus, like I said at the beginning of this half hour, that the Saginaw Spirit and the Memorial Cup is just a real plus for our community. And I know that there are other entities out there that organizations and groups like LEAD are planning a Latin corner in the Morley Plaza, not Memorial, Morley Plaza. They're going to have some music and some vendors and stuff there. And I think also some other groups in the community are putting on events. But there's also going to be attention to like Saginaw Old Town and the shopping district over there and the restaurants, because there's going to be a lot of people. They're expecting a huge crowd of people during this time. 7,000 to 10,000 is what I've heard through the grapevine, and it's going to be a big economic impact to our community. So it's a win-win for everybody. And, I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I know that there are food trucks that are going to be at the food truck alley. I know the whole enchilada is going to be there, as well as Mijo's food truck and Mr. Patito Man. And then those are just the Mexican ones that I come off the top of my head. But there is going to be Making Bacon. There's going to be a number of different ones. And the organizers are really excited about the idea of showcasing some of the great culinary food expertise of our food truck community of Saginaw in the Great Lakes Bay region, because they're not just Saginaw. They're actually like the whole enchilada is based out of Bay City. And so it's pretty exciting for anybody who's going to be hungry during that time. Most of them, like I said, are 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you can come down to the food truck alley, which will be behind Jolt Credit Union Event Park. So, what do you have? What else do you have that you could tell us a little bit about the Memorial Cup, Matthew?
I know the Fan Fest is going to be held at the Jolt Credit Union Event Park every day. Like you were saying, there's going to be different food trucks and entertainment festivals, things like that. I'm pretty sure the Hockey Hall of Fame is going to be held at the Dow. I'm pretty sure they're bringing that in as well. Let's see here. I know there's going to be different concerts, different entertainment. Obviously the different hockey games are going to be going on. Yeah.
Yeah, and we even have with the Castle Museum, they've got an exhibit going up that will feature some of the artifacts and history of the Saginaw Gears, if
Mm.
any of you are old enough to remember that. And I speak on that as a board member of the Castle Museum, and I know they're real excited about presenting that because that's just a hop, skipping away from the Jolt Credit Union Event Park. And so, I think it's going to be quite an affair for our community. We've never really seen something like this in my lifetime that I know of. And I just wanted to, again, congratulate those that are involved to bring it here because it's not an easy task to prep for something of this nature and to, kind of have your ducks in row. And not everything's going to go right. We know that that's what happens in these types of events. But hopefully, we put our best foot forward, Saginaw, and that they will remember us in a positive way and the great things and the great people of our Saginaw community. So the food truck alley, that's what they're calling it. I was calling it something else, I think. The food truck alley is going to, like I said, have Mijo's, making bacon, the twisted fork, twisted burger. They're going to have Fat Axe Grill, the cheese trap, Cluck Truck, Olvera's Barbecue, Wonder Burger, That Guy's Barbecue, G's Pizza, Sis and Bros Tacos, Jet's Pizza, the Gobble Up, Sugar High, and there's a few more on there. And like I said, not that they're not all going to be participating every day, but most of these will. I know I will be there in the capacity of Mr. Patito Man and slaying out patitos, and then also the Union Civica Mexicana will also be there taking over the food truck on particular days so that they can fundraise for the Civica as well. And the Spirit of the Community Entertainment Series that will be happening during the 2024 Memorial Cup on May 24th. They've got the Stone Street Revival. May 25th, Shakedown Bob Seger Tribute. Larry McCrae will be singing blues on the 26th. You got Todd Hoff featuring Nameless, which will be singing classic rock on May 27th. May 28th, the Jedi Mind Trip, 80s band. May 29th, the Rock Show, Tribute Rock. May 31st, Family Tradition of Country. And June 2nd, the Accidentals, which are folk influenced pop rock. And they are going to all be a part of the entertainment that's happening for the Memorial Cup that week from May 24th to June the 2nd. So that's going to be quite a time. And, I want to invite everybody out there to participate and come down and, experience this probably, really beautiful time in Saginaw. It's going to be a time that we're going to remember, and hopefully we'll look back and say, do you remember the Memorial Cup that came in 2024? Because I don't know how often it can come to a city. I think they choose a city every year, different cities, and I'm sure some cities have had it more than once, but in the long history, this is the first time Michigan is going to be hosting. And I think I don't want to say it's the first time in America, because I know on the West Coast there was a city as well. I don't know. Do you know any of that, Matthew?
I want to say it's something like the first American OHL team or something like that.
Yeah.
Or there's like a certain line across America and it's like the first city across from it's something like that. I know Saginaw's the first of something to host the Memorial Cup, but when it comes to actual specifics, I'm not sure.
Okay. So, again, we're going to invite everybody to come on down and, just enjoy the festivities and what's happening at Jolt Credit Union Event Park, as well as the Food Truck Alley, as well as at the Dow. That's the main area. And then there's going to be, like I said, the Latin Corner in Morley Plaza, where they have the Friday Night Live events during the summer. And I think there's a few other organizations that are trying to put events on during this time. The Castle Museum will be hosting an exhibit, like I said, and even Saginaw Old Town is going to be gearing up for the massive population that's going to be expected to come for the Memorial Cup. So it's a win-win, like I said, for everybody. And I think that with the extravagant arrival of the Memorial Cup itself, I think that's going to put us all in the mood to really celebrate Saginaw as the host city of this great event. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope everybody out there is. We have to stay positive, especially in these times. These are really rough times, and probably because of the political year that we are in. But I just noticed that there's a lot of and I don't know, Matthew, if you experience this, but there's a lot of negativity on social media platforms, and the reason I'm saying that is because I am a TikTok user, and man, I don't know if anybody has seen, but there's this block of Hollywood and block of stars like J Lo and blocking Kim Kardashian, any of the elite, because of what happened at the Met Gala during a time when there's this ongoing genocide and war going on over in Israel and with the Palestinians. And it's people are just mad. People are mad. But I look at these people who are blocking, celebrities, and blocking, to bring down their numbers so that they're not paid out as readily as they have been in the past. And I just get this feeling, this sense that I feel like everybody's negative, like I said, but they're also very childlike. It's almost like we're in elementary school with the way that they're behaving and the comments that are being made. So I'm just saying that, and I don't typically talk like that on my show, but I wanted to say that because that's what I'm experiencing this day and age. And just there just seems to be a lot of negativity. And I look back at the times in the 80s when I grew up, and I consider that more my time, and life wasn't like that, like it is today. And I don't know if COVID and going into lockdown, or the presidential uh landscape, the polarization that is going on from 2016 when Trump ran for office, if that brought a lot of this on or what. But I want to just put that all in a box and put it to the side and say, hey, in Saginaw, we're going to be positive. We're going to be very positive going into this Memorial Cup. And we all have to get on board to put our best foot forward and to make Saginaw shine. And I think that's what's really going to happen, because when I went to that playoff game, I thought it was very awesome, just how everybody was so excited, and everybody was like, hey, we're a part of this. The parking lots were full, the arena was full. I think for a hockey game like that, they held 5,000 people, and just about every seat was full. And so that says something. That really says something. And I think it's a positive for our whole community. And I would really encourage more people to come out to the hockey games, and you'll be pleasantly surprised with the new the rehabilitation of the arena. Matthew, what else can you add to that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you didn't get tickets to any of the games, I'm pretty sure over at the Jolt Credit Union event park that they're going to be airing all the games like on a big screen.
Big screen, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Wow, so that's really cool. And at on top of that, you're going to also have the entertainment that is live entertainment, some of the best of our community, as I read them off. And there's going to be the food truck alley. If you're hungry, if you need drink, it's going to be provided there at the Joe Credit Union Event Park, as well as just cross over that little hump hill, and you're going to be in food truck alley with a number of different trucks. And so I'm really excited to participate in that way, to showcase the Patitos that are on Mr. Patito Man food truck. And I have to say that so many people have asked me, well, who taught you how to cook like this, Larry, or whatever? And it's been a process, and I give credit to a number of ladies in my life: my mother, my Aunt Della Chantaka, Anelito Gonzalez. But I just want to mention that the patito itself, was one of the great trays of the El Gaito restaurant. That everybody used to get patitos from there, and I give homage to them, Felix and Josie Gallardo, as well as La Placita. They always had the Reese taco. Nancy Reese was spearheading that for many, many years over on South Michigan, if you remember. And these are the deep fried tacos that were so popular, both those restaurants that are no longer with us. But I can remember vividly, actually, my uncle Felix Gallardo, his mother, I called her Grandma Gallardo. Her name was Connie, but she was actually rolling the patitos out, and I was maybe 3 or 4 years old, but I could see her in the kitchen rolling those out, throwing them up on a basket, and I was playing with the pans or something in the restaurant, and I don't know why God granted me that memory to that particular memory because, um, every day when I'm rolling out a patito or I'm involved in the patito food truck, I think of her. I think of her and I think of Uncle Felix and Aunt Josie and that family legacy that they left. And, I'm very honored and proud to be a part of that now in 2024. So, Matthew, what would you say you're looking forward to with the Memorial Cup coming to Saginaw?
Well, my grandparents are coming down from Detroit. I'm taking my grandfather to one of the games, and then that Wednesday, a group of my friends and I, I'm going to be going to two games, and then I'm also going to be heavily involved, doing the different games and the different remote broadcasts we're going to do, and we're going to be sending some people out to the different events, and yeah, it'll be a fun time.
Well, that'd be you and Jonathan Dent, my other producer. You'll be
Yep.
heavily involved. So,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that'll be awesome. And hopefully, Christina Malacara will also be involved with that. And, it's just really nice to have WSGW being a part of that whole franchise of the Memorial Cup coming to Saginaw. And they've played a huge part of it, broadcasting the games. And you guys being a part of that as well. And so you kind of get the feeling and what I'm talking about when, I experienced that game and those, the suites, the new suites. Have you been up in the new suites?
I have not. I've heard about them, but I have not seen them yet.
Wow. They're really nice. I was really pleasantly surprised because like I say, there's like a, what do you call that there that you can lean over and you can look at the game and it's just like right there. It's like a huge television screen right at your face looking down upon and you see this live action, and it's really something. And it evoked memories of when I was very young and I was going to the Saginaw Civic Center, it was called in those days. And we were watching the Saginaw Gears. And that was always really exciting. Now, I have to say, as a little boy, I remember it being much more violent, it seemed like, with the Saginaw Gears than the Saginaw Spirits. And maybe it's just because now I'm older and, it's not as, it's not as vigorous as I remember it being with the Gears. But it's quite a exciting sport to watch. And I know that I've gone to the Joe in Detroit and the Little Caesars Arena now to watch the Red Wings. And so it's really pleasantly surprised that our town, Saginaw, has this hockey league of their own with the Saginaw Spirits. So I want to encourage everybody to participate. If you haven't gotten tickets now, are they saying all tickets are?
I'm pretty sure tickets are left, but I know there's slim pickings.
Yeah. Which is great, going.
Oh yeah. Yep. And like I said before, if you're not able to get tickets to the game, every night that there's a game, they're going to be airing it on the big screen at the Jolt Credit Union event park. So there's that too.
Yeah, and hopefully there'll be great weather and we can all be out there. And I just want to mention also Valerie's Downtown is a restaurant that will be open all 9 days, as well as the SVRC and their vendors that are within there. So the people that are coming from Canada will get a real taste of Saginaw, literally, in regards to those businesses in our downtown area. So Valerie's Downtown and SVRC will be open during those days. And I know that they're preparing for the full 9 to 10 days as we speak. And so I'm going to be busy myself because to try to provide patitos for 9-10 days is quite a task. And so I'm trying to really build up my employees to prepare for that. And I have even put a post out there that if there's anybody that knows of somebody who wants to work, it is going to be work because that's what it takes. But I'm hiring, believe it or not, I'm hiring for this special occasion that's happening with the Memorial Cup, because as I said, there's a lot of people that are going to be coming down. They're estimating 7 to 10,000 people a day. And so we're going to have to really provide a service, and hopefully, I hope I sell out every day, and that will be a great thing. And they will get the culinary expertise of so many within us that are involved with food trucking, because food trucking is a way of life now. I've seen it. I know what it's about, and it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to serve the community. So thank you all for being with me here tonight as we had our special guest, our Grand Marshal for the 45th Annual Cinco de Mayo Parade, Mary Hernandez Silvas, and as we talked about the upcoming Memorial Cup coming to Saginaw. So thank you all for being with me as we talk about not only Latino contributions and concerns and culture, but what's happening on the bigger scale with our Great Lakes Bay region and the Memorial Cup. So hasta luego, everybody. I'll see you next week, and happy May Day coming up. You got to start getting your flowers, getting ready to plant flowers and to buy them, and to making your house and households beautiful. So good luck to all that, and we'll see you at the Memorial Cup from May 23rd, 24th. The parade's the 23rd, May 24th to June the 2nd. Adios. So there you have it. What a show tonight, talking about the Memorial Cup. And I know that's what's been on a lot of people's mind out there. And I'm surprised nobody called in. I was hoping we'd get a call in and a question. So maybe if we open those lines every week, maybe somebody will eventually call in and we can start that process, because, I want to hear from people now. I feel confident enough to get the phone calls. When I started this show, 3 years ago, I didn't feel confident enough to take phone calls, and I feel confident enough that, I can handle that aspect of, a live show like this. And, I won't always get it right, but I'm going to try. And I think it will really add to the whole show, Mi Gente on Air. I have a blast when I fill in for Art Lewis, and I know that he is the expert at that. And I hope that I'm able to do half of what Art has done through the years in broadcasting. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you again next week here on Mi Gente on Air.